As we all know, Dr. Phil is a psychologist and he invites people onto his show in order to help them with their issues and dilemmas. But sometimes he gets a lot more than he bargained for. Welcome to Film Trending, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 5 liars who were busted by Dr. Phil. Number 5. Jennifer claimed she and Russian President Vladimir Putin are in love. Yes, you've heard it right. A woman named Jennifer came on the show claiming she was in love with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Dr. Phil freaked out and pressed her for answers. She said that they communicated daily through social media and that he sends her messages through his neckties. Jennifer said she's never met Putin, but they're in love and will soon marry. Seriously? Phil asked, if he's in love with you, why has he never met you? Dr. Phil asked Jennifer as well, if one of the most powerful men in the world is in love with you, why hasn't he come and gotten you? Following on with him saying, he sits on the most powerful nuclear state and his worth is more than $1 billion. He should have no problem to come get you. But she's got no answers. She says that he has some political issues, that's why Putin didn't come to meet her. She also claims she has a gift or a prophecy, and the Lord speaks to her to send messages to world leaders. If he asked me, without a doubt, I would marry him. He's my best friend, she says. I really can't wait for him to come get me. She says she believes the Lord has shown her that she will soon be Putin's wife, the mother of Russia, and will give birth to Putin's child. Jennifer says she's choosing to be homeless because Putin will be picking her up any day now. Although Jennifer's children say they believe their mother is delusional and suffering from a mental illness. Number 4. The guy who thinks he writes Taylor Swift's hits. You heard it right, we are talking about Riley, a 23-year-old guest of Dr. Phil, who is, according to him, one of the most prolific songwriters of our time. He has written hundreds of songs, most notably Shake It Off with Taylor Swift. Riley is adamant that he did co-write the hit, and Dr. Phil starts to talk about his recent outburst, where he kicked up a fuss in a restaurant and screamed, "I miss Taylor," repeatedly. Well, in a twist of events, it turns out that Dr. Phil was a friend of Taylor Swift's mother, and neither she nor Taylor had ever heard of Riley. Oh dear, seems he's been busted. His own mum thinks that he is lying. He is a drug and alcohol abuser who uses it to deliberately hurt his parents. Dr. Phil tells Riley that he has known both Taylor and her mum for several years. Is there any reason that she would tell me she's never met you, heard of you, or worked with you on a song? Dr. Phil asks. Is there any reason you wouldn't be listed on the song as a writer? Riley at first sticks to his claims that he wrote Shake It Off, but acknowledging that his former drug use may have affected his thinking, he says, I definitely admit that there is some questionable thought process going on. I've had to take into consideration that I might be wrong. Number 3. My dad is Eminem and I'm pregnant with baby Jesus. Haley's family brought her on Dr. Phil because she was a compulsive liar and delusional. After she didn't back down on the claim that she was pregnant with baby Jesus, considering 6 negative urine tests and an ultrasound scan that showed no indication of a pregnancy. She even refused to believe the results of an ultrasound carried out on the show, which showed there was no baby. Her family branded her a compulsive liar, but she told them, his name is going to be Jesus, I am pregnant and I am not going to deny my child. After getting the results on the show, she insisted, you can't lie to Jesus. She stated, I was sleeping one night and my baby punched the bottom of my stomach and kicked me, and I can feel his head right here, right below my belly button. I don't care if my family disowns me, it really comes down to if you're a true believer of Jesus or not, she says. What the hell is going on in this show? Not only this, but she also insisted Eminem was her father. But soon after some days, Haley returned to the show and admitted that the phantom pregnancy had been caused by trap wind. Better late than never, she admitted it at least. Number 2. You are committing a crime. Here Dr. Phil busted a mum named Kaylee, who claimed having drugs and sex in teenage years has a good effect and allows her teenage daughter to do so. Dr. Phil has a long temper when it comes to the mistreatment of children that is on full display in this dramatic episode. Here, Phil accuses Kaylee of a crime. When a child is a teenager, they don't have the capacity to give consent. Kaylee is a dominatrix who gives her 14-year-old daughter alcohol and marijuana and allows her to have sex regularly. Dr. Phil begins Kaylee's roast rather politely, saying that the teenagers cannot give consent under the law and that she needs to monitor her teen's behaviour. You can be sarcastic all you want, you are committing a crime, says Dr. Phil. However, that was just an introduction to the main event. During this, Phil tells Kaylee about 20 times she is committing a crime by giving her daughter drugs and permitting her to be physically intimate with other people. Nonetheless, Kaylee does not seem fazed whatsoever by this. Surprising. Number 1. Kicking off with the Bum Fights producer. In Dr. Phil's December 12, 2006 episode on hate crimes against the homeless, he brought Beeson onto the stage to kick him off the show moments later after viewing footage from Beeson's infamous bum fights videos. All Dr. Phil wanted is to show the world that he has busted bum fights producer Beeson. For those who are unaware, Bum Fights was a film that saw homeless people performing an amateur stunts for small amounts of money or alcohol. The video was enormously controversial and has even been banned in various countries. A man who brought the film rights, known as the alias Beeson, appeared on Dr. Phil shows, hilariously dressed as Dr. Phil. However, his appearance lasted for less than a minute before he was kicked off. Dr. Phil came and yelled in anger, "Stop the tape, I don't want to talk to you." Beeson asked, "Why not?" Phil said, "That's despicable, I don't want to talk to you anymore." Dr. Phil stated that he didn't want to talk to Ty and promptly had him escorted off the stage by security. Ty yelled, "If you think I exploit people, every time you bring a guest onto the show you exploit them and spread whatever problems they have to the whole world. You think that's helping them?" Phil ended with, "Yeah, keep telling yourself that, you can go now." Now doesn't this remind you when your parents say they're disappointed and refuse to speak to you? Anyway, the guest was busted and humiliated for lying to the world that they are doing well for society. Well, there you go guys, our picks for the top 5 liars who were busted by Dr. Phil. Tell us what you thought about the video down in the comments and make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more of these videos and I'll see you in the next one.